Hey guys, welcome back to the Beehive. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can grow food year round, or even just kind of get a jump start on your spring grow. It's something that I have done in the past on a much smaller scale. I'm going to be working on a larger scale and kind of show you what I'm going to do this year to go ahead and start growing like my lettuce greens and my radishes, and maybe even start germinating some of those seeds that I would like to have, you know, kind of like a head start, if you will. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need and how affordable it is as well. Don't be afraid to do this. I tell everybody, you know, I've only been gardening. This is like my fourth year actually. And I thoroughly love it. It's kind of like an escape for me to just be outside and get that vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? All right, so the first thing you're going to need is a container like this. This right here is actually made by Sterilite, and it's 105 quarts. I got it from Walmart, and I want to say it was like $14. So this here is actually going to be your greenhouse. The other thing you're going to need is some kind of soil. Now, I prefer to go organic when I start germinating. I don't want a lot of chemicals in my soil. So I did buy the Miracle-Gro raised bed soil. And this bag here is 1.5 cubic feet. It's kind of heavy, but this is the one I have. Right there. And tools you're going to need. You're going to need a screwdriver and a blade of some sort. You could probably even use scissors too. You'll see what we're going to use this for. All right, first things first is we want to take our lid, put it down, and then place our bag of soil on top of that. So hopefully I might have to back you guys up a little bit. Shaky, shaky, right? And then that way you can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right. So I'm going to lift this up and put this underneath. Of course, it's not going to be that easy. These things are heavy. And so ultimately what you're trying to do when you have your bag of soil is you want to be able to take this top, this will be our top, and place it over, right? All right, so what we're going to do basically is just kind of smooth out and flatten this as much as we can. So fill those corners, you know, with the soil. So I'm going to move the soil around and get this more evenly distributed. All right, the next thing we want to do is take our screwdriver and we want to go ahead and puncture the bottom. Doesn't matter which side you do, but we want to have plenty of drain holes. All right. Again, random. Be generous so that you do have plenty of drainage. Make sure to get the sides a little bit as well. Okay, so that should be plenty. All right, and now what we want to do is go ahead and flip this over because this is now the bottom, right? So we're going to flip this over. Actually, that worked out good because this side actually has holes in it, which we want to cut out anyway. All right, so we're back to making this more flat. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, and then we want to take our blade, or like I said, you could use scissors, but what you want to do is you want to cut this. Word to the wise, don't make the hole so big that your sides kind of fall apart. It's much easier to cut more of this away than to put it back. So go ahead and start in a little bit. I would say this is probably about 3 or 4 inches. And I'm going to go all the way around, trying to keep a lip around there, around the edge to where the soil won't fall out. And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. We can always take more of this off, right? All right. So there we go. We got our top off, and this is perfect. I have just enough ledge here that the bag's not going to kind of fall open and I would lose all that soil, right? Especially when you're, you know, watering it. I am, however, going to go ahead and push back some soil in these corners and really fill it in. What's going to happen is I'm going to probably have to take a good layer off of the top of this because it's too mounded, if you will, right? I want it more like flat. Okay, so I'm just going to take the soil and go put it over in my raised bed garden. I usually have to add soil over there anyway. But basically we're just trying to get this more flat and not such a large mound in the middle here. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below. Do you garden? What do you grow? I'm not the greatest gardener. I'm still learning a lot. I'll be honest. I'm still learning a lot, but I have fun doing it. And, you know, it's for the most part pretty affordable if you just keep things simple like this, you know. It's pretty affordable. I tell everybody that is just first starting out, radishes. Radishes are not only so easy to grow, you can harvest them within a month, you know. So, you know, you need that satisfaction of success, right? You know, when you garden. And so I always tell everybody that I talk to, like my friends, I'm like, you need to go ahead and just do radishes because you can pretty much grow them anywhere. And they will just, they'll take off. So this looks pretty good. I only took, maybe I'll take one more handful out and spread that out because I kind of want a little bit of a ledge. But yeah, grow radishes. They're easy. What we're going to do in this container here is I want to go ahead and start my lettuce. It's so good being able to eat out of your garden as well. And I'm going to start my radishes because I can definitely harvest those pretty quick. The nice thing about like lettuces and kale and things like that is that you can pretty much harvest it as soon as it starts growing. And take it at any stage, really. You don't have to wait for any sort of maturity. So that's another reason why it's nice to start with like vegetables like that. You couldn't plant like carrots or anything like this in here because there's just not enough space for it to grow down. So that was actually a perfect cut. I'm not going to go any deeper. It has enough tightness here that, you know, if I cut it any further, these sides would just fall out. And that's definitely what you don't want to do. And I'm going to show you quickly kind of what this is going to look like. Like this. If you can see it. Running out of space. But boom, look at that. So cool. And it's neat because you can kind of see what you have growing once it starts because it's clear. And you get the sunlight and you get kind of like that greenhouse effect, right? And the other thing too is if you find that too much condensation is building up, you just take this and shift it all, you know, off to the side to where air can kind of get up inside of there. But that is kind of what we're looking at. I'm going to come up on the deck here and I want to show you my seeds and what we're going to do. And just to give you kind of like an overview on top, that's what it looks like. See what I mean about the sides? You don't want them to fall. All right, so real quick, I just want to show you my seed storage. I went and bought, I guess this is like a 1-inch binder, and basically bought the sleeves that have, you know, 4 slots in them. And this is how I store my seeds. And just so you know, seeds do not expire. It is required by the, you know, FDA that they put an expiration on it. But the only thing that happens to seeds over time is the germination rate may go down a little bit. But don't think you can't plant them even if it's expired. You'll be fine. All right, so I went to Lowe's today and I got some lettuce, which is romaine, and butter crunch. I got these two here, which I had some butter crunch in here already. And I think I might just use this and not open the other one. These are the Easy Sew ones, which is kind of cool. They tend to supposedly germinate faster. I don't know. I've never really put it to the test, but we're going to do those 2 lettuces. Actually, let me see. I might have like a spring mix in here as well. I don't want parsley or basil. I might go ahead and plant some of the spinach. That's nice to have as well. Let's see what else we have that we could start. Obviously, definitely we're going to be doing some radishes, just because, like I said, radishes are so easy and you can harvest them within a month. I do have one that's already open. I got kale. Here, I'm going to do some of this as well. This is a sweet salad mix. So I'm going to plant this. That's 4 different kinds. And I don't know if I want to do arugula. I tell you, arugula is a little spicy and I don't like it so much. Here's my radishes that I've been using every year. I still have them. So anyways, I got these from a local nursery. But yeah, just, it's so cool. I can, you know, just flip and see what I want. I have all my flowers together. My kales, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, and I've never been very good at doing asparagus. I want to try beets this year. I'm going to show you here real quick in just a minute once we sow these into the dirt. My raised bed that I have. I was almost thinking of getting started on the cabbages or even growing a couple of my broccoli and cauliflower. The reason for that is they don't really like the hot weather. I think I am going to do that. I'm going to pull my broccoli and my cauliflower out. They don't like the hot weather. And so if I can get a jump start on this now and get a nice plant going, I can transplant it into the raised bed or whatever I end up using. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and put these in. Okay, hopefully you can see me. The lighting is terrible, but we're rolling with it, right? All right, let's go ahead and do our, I'm gonna do 2 broccoli and 2 cauliflower. I'll be honest, I've never been successful growing this. So anyways, we're just gonna go and put just a few of them in there. We can thin it out if they all take, but I'm gonna do, actually I might even do 4 of each, because really I'm just trying to get like these little seedlings, you know. So we'll do the cauliflower first, and I'm just doing them about 1 inch apart as well. Always put a couple seeds in, because you know not all of them are going to take, and then you can always thin them out and separate them later if need be. So anyways, yeah, just go ahead and loosely sew those in. They don't have to be so, you know, deep. All right, let's go ahead and do our broccoli again. Just go ahead and do 4 of these. I would love to get these to germinate, because I eat a lot of broccoli and be successful in growing it. Again, like I said, I have a lot to learn, but what I have learned and what I have done, I've had a lot of fun doing it. I don't know, it's just something about it. It's crazy because like my parents had gardens growing up, and my grandparents, like they all had a garden, and I don't know why it took me so much later on in life. Maybe because I had to work in the garden so much, I was like, there is no way I'm having a garden. And now as I've, you know, aged and gotten older, I see the importance of it. Okay, so my cauliflower, and I'll probably draw a diagram for my flower, or my bed here that I'm doing, so I know where everything's planted. But yeah. Okay, so for the next thing, we're gonna do just rows of this stuff here. We got 4, and I'm really just gonna sprinkle this along the top and just kind of rake it in with my hand, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna do like a row of this spring mix, right? All right, because again, and I'm just gonna use my fingers like this to put them into the dirt. Maybe even take a little bit of this side dirt, go along the top, because it doesn't have to be really all that deep. All right, that's perfect. So we got our spring mix in. Now we're gonna do lettuce. And I should have done this at the beginning of the winter, because really, because of the nature of this and the warmth, as long as the sun is hitting it, it really, you know, you could grow year round. We have plenty of spinach, looks like. All right, so we got spinach. And then I'm gonna do the romaine next. Let's go ahead and a little trough area where I'm gonna dump the seeds, and then I'll close it in. And like I said, I'm being kind of generous with this because really, you know, you can start harvesting this as soon as you start having leaves and things like that. All right, and now we are going to do our butter crunch, and I've grown this before. This is really good. Butter crunch. And I think I have room to go right here, actually. Again, nothing really deep. I don't really need to go that deep with this. Oops. Okay, that's too many in one area, though. Got a little crazy. You can see where you put these too, because they have color on them. Pink. Oh, I did forget radishes, and I'm just gonna kind of sporadically put these throughout, just because, like I said, the radishes, you can harvest these pretty much within 30 days. So I'm gonna just do some holes on the side here, and they can be fairly close together. Radishes don't need a whole lot of room. The nice thing about those is once you grow them and, you know, harvest them, just put some more right back in the ground. All right, so water. Remember, we punctured the holes in the bottom. I am going to give this a light water, but like what I like to do when I come out to see if it needs watered is I pull this back and I look how wet the soil is underneath. I feel it. So this, I'm going to put just a light spray of water on it, but that's pretty much it. We are set, and we pretty much have a garden of salad here. So it's going to be great. I cannot find my sprayer anywhere. I always end up having to buy one anyway. So I'm going to take this and just kind of put the water in this way. You know, either way, a little bit of the water is going to reserve in the bottom of this bag, even though there's drain holes. And it will totally soak it up. Again, I know I don't need a lot of water because it was pretty wet on the bottom. I'm just giving a little bit of surface water. I hope you give this a try. Let me know in the comments down below if you are. I'd love to hear your feedback. And that pretty much completes this little greenhouse. Now we're going to put the lid on it, of course. I'll have to come back up there. It ain't going to fit between here. So here are some of my containers, and then I have some stacked up there as well. I am so ready for the spring to get started. And I have been using a raised flower bed, and this year it actually kind of broke. So I'm gonna have to do something a little different, but I'm sad to say the front of it has come off. So sad. Yeah, this has lasted me 3 years, but I'm gonna have to say this is not gonna make it through this year, even if I tried to put it back together by looking at the wood on the inside. So yep, here's my kale I eat throughout the year. Kale is really good to grow in the winter. It can withstand frost. My sage isn't looking very good, but I think it might come back. We'll see. And then this is crazy. This is like my parsley and everything coming back. And so I'm gonna probably have to transplant it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with something different this year. I'm not gonna be able to use my raised flower bed. Thinking about having a friend of mine coming and digging out a section of my yard, and then I'm gonna get my soil I get a soil from like a cow place down the street. They raise cows, so I get like manure soil. And anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just do it in the ground, which is fine because it'll open my options up to other things versus being stuck in a raised bed garden. However, I wouldn't mind getting me some more of the raised bed, but I think I'm gonna go with the metal ones. I know they conduct a lot more heat, but they're not gonna rot in 2 years either. They may rust a little bit, but anyways, so. Well, I wanted to make that quick video for you. I hope you found value in today's video. Gardening is something I really love to do, and you'll be seeing more of that as well once the weather starts getting warmer. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.